Her message arrived at 10:47 p.m. I'm not your property. I'll be late. Don't call. I remember the screen lighting up my face. Those words mirrored faintly in the window beside me. Outside, the city breathed, alive with noise, strangers, lies. I read the text once, then twice, again, and in that moment, something inside me flipped. My response was brief, sharp, deliberate. I'm not your husband anymore. Don't come back. 5 minutes later, my phone erupted. Calls, voicemails, messages stacking like alarms. 50 missed calls. 12 voice notes. One message that read, "Please, can we talk?" But we couldn't, because what she didn't realize was that I had been waiting for that message. Not wishing for it, not fearing it, waiting. Every game needs a first move, a trigger. That was hers, and mine had already begun. When we first met, I was a quiet one, steady, dependable, the kind of man who built instead of boasted. She was light incarnate, impulsive, curious, magnetic. We balanced each other, her chaos to my calm. I built her life piece by piece, her degree, her studio, the apartment she once said she'd never afford. I believed love, if given endlessly, could anchor loyalty. But love doesn't chain the ambitious. It only slows them down. Her laughter grew sharp over time. Every compliment carried an edge. You're amazing for someone like you. And though I pretended not to notice, I did. Every new dress, every late night, every smile meant for someone else. Betrayal doesn't arrive like an explosion. It seeps in quietly, in the routines, in the lipstick shade that doesn't belong, in the silence that follows a phone lighting up, screen down. So when that don't call text appeared, I wasn't shattered. I was simply done pretending not to see. The truth surfaced one Tuesday evening, not through confession, but through carelessness. She was in the shower when her phone buzzed twice. Face up, a preview flashed. He bought the watch. Wear it tonight. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. That single sentence was a map of her betrayal. The dinners, the perfume, the absences, all lies rehearsed to perfection. My anger didn't boil, it froze. No shouting, no smashing things, just silence. That was when everything changed, when pain hardened into purpose, when emotion turned to precision. I didn't accuse. I didn't confront. I planned. Step 1, separation. Not emotional, strategic. I changed every password tied to my name. Shifted assets. Emptied the joint account she barely checked. Moved company shares into a private trust, under a name she didn't know. She used to say I trusted too easily. She wasn't wrong. I just let her think so longer than she should have. Step 2, information. Receipts. Hotel records. Transfers. Photos her friends thought were private. I collected it all. Didn't use it. Not yet. Evidence isn't for rage. It's for leverage. Step 3, continuation. I let her routine run on. Late nights, new perfume, practice lies. Every act was another nail in her own coffin of credibility. Step 4, the kill switch. She didn't know the lease, the bills, even her car, all existed under my company's umbrella. Perks she never read the fine print for. One call, and her picture-perfect apartment would be gone by morning. And then came step 5, timing. Timing is everything. I waited until she felt untouchable, until she texted, "I'm not your property." That was the moment I pulled every pin. When I sent "Don't come back," it wasn't dramatics, it was eviction. By the time she returned home, her access was revoked. The doorman she once mocked had orders not to let her in. Security footage watched in silence as she pounded on the door. At 11:12 p.m., the phone lit up again. 50 calls. Each one a flicker of panic on the screen. Her voicemail trembled. "Please, open the door. We can fix this." But there was no we anymore. Only consequence. I didn't reply. Instead, I sent every document, lease terminations, transfers, and her infidelity records, to my lawyer. The next morning, one final text. "Please direct all communication to legal counsel." Cold, professional, final. She tried friends. They ignored her. Family. I'd already shown them the truth. By Friday, her studio was locked. Business credit suspended. She called me a monster. But monsters aren't born, they're made. Usually by someone like her. The ending wasn't loud. It was precise. A week later, she arrived at my office with him. The man from the messages. She was crying. He was pretending to be her savior. Security buzzed. "Sir, your wife and a guest are here." Says it's urgent. "Ex-wife." I corrected. "Send them in." She spoke first, fast, desperate. Apologies mixed with accusations. He hovered behind, smirking like victory was already his. I said nothing, just placed a folder on the table. Photos, transfers, signed statements, dated, indexed, undeniable. Her face drained of color. Then I slid forward the final paper, a signed release, transferring every shared asset, notarized days before her "I'll be late" text. "I thought we were partners," she whispered. "We were," I said, "until you made me your liability." She reached for the folder, but he stopped her, scanning the contents. His smirk faded. Reality caught up. "Told you he wouldn't just let go," he muttered before walking out. No goodbye, just defeat. She looked at me like I was someone she'd never known. "You planned this." Down to the minute. Security escorted her out. She didn't resist, just stared at the floor as the door shut behind her. That night, I sat in the same chair where I'd first read her message. The phone was silent now. The air felt clean. Revenge doesn't bring happiness. It brings order, a restoration of balance, a storm that clears the rot. People asked what I felt then. Relief? Satisfaction? Neither. Just peace. The kind that settles when the blade stops trembling after the cut. A month later, I saw her again, waiting tables in a cafe, under another name. She noticed me, briefly. Shame flickered in her eyes. I didn't approach. I didn't need to, because revenge isn't about hurting them. It's about reminding them. They never owned you. I walked out quietly, my reflection fading in the glass. For the first time in years, I felt weightless. That night, I deleted her number, and as silence filled the room, I whispered to no one in particular. Freedom doesn't always come from walking away. Sometimes it comes from letting them trap themselves.